It began the day I met Olivia. We were young, full of hope, and certain our love could weather anything. When we married, it felt like we shared the same dreams, the same fire, and an unbreakable trust. I believed I knew every corner of her heart. The habits, the quirks, the little details that make up a person you vow to spend your life with. But one night proved how wrong I truly was. What unraveled everything started quietly. Olivia had always been adventurous, open-minded, and curious about things most people wouldn't even discuss. Over the years we talked about everything, our future, our relationship, and even some unconventional fantasies. I never thought any of it would lead to something real. Then one evening she told me she'd been invited to a swingers party. She said it casually as if it were nothing serious. She claimed she wasn't planning to go, that she was only fascinated by the idea. At first I laughed it off. I'd heard of those parties but never imagined my own wife would even entertain the thought. She reassured me again and again that it was just curiosity, nothing more. But when she came home afterward, she wasn't the same. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. She seemed stiff, distant. She avoided my gaze. I tried to brush it off as exhaustion, but something felt off. Call it intuition or paranoia, but a part of me knew she wasn't telling me everything. Over the next few days, the tension between us grew. The closeness we once shared seemed to evaporate. Finally, unable to push aside the knot in my gut, I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her phone. I hated myself for it, but the unease was eating me alive. That's when I found messages from someone named Mark. A name I'd never heard before. The conversation was flirtatious, too personal, and hinted at something beyond small talk. My chest tightened as I read. I confronted her right away. She didn't deny it. Her face drained of color as she admitted what had happened. At the party, she'd gotten swept up in the atmosphere and ended up sleeping with him. She insisted it was meaningless, a stupid, impulsive decision. But to me it was a knife in the heart. It wasn't just the physical betrayal. It was the destruction of every ounce of trust one had placed in her. I had given her everything, loyalty, love, devotion, and she had thrown it away for one night. The worst part? She didn't truly grasp the depth of the damage she'd done. She apologized, but it felt hollow. More like she wanted to save the marriage than actually understand the devastation she caused. We cried. We argued. We tried. But every time I looked at her, all I could see was what she had done. Eventually, I realized I couldn't keep pretending. I couldn't rebuild on a foundation that had already crumbled. So, after weeks of agonizing over the decision, I took the step I never imagined I'd take. I filed for divorce. She broke down when I told her, begging me to reconsider, to give us another chance. But I knew deep down there was no going back. I couldn't forget. I couldn't unlive the betrayal. I couldn't be the man who swallowed his pain just to keep a broken relationship alive. It wasn't the affair alone that ended us. It was the trust that died with it. Signing the divorce papers felt like tearing my own heart in half, but I also knew it was the only way to protect myself from drowning in hurt. In the months that followed, I rebuilt my life one piece at a time. It wasn't easy. Some days the ache was sharp. But slowly I started to heal. Walking away from the woman I once loved wasn't something I ever planned, but it was something I needed. Life has a way of hitting us with moments we never see coming, moments that change everything. And this was mine.